So let's get going on this. Again, this is deliverable. You guys, actionable, sorry, deliverable to your team and actionable. I think if you sit through this, take some notes on it, and maybe review it with one other person, you could get some action on this afternoon. Again, if you're on the West Coast, you can get it before the afternoon. If you're on the East Coast, you can get it by the afternoon. So here's where I want to start on this. This needs and wants. This conversation comes and goes all the time, and you all know it. And I'm going to use the example of buying a drill, which is one of the greatest examples. And everybody will sit in an audience, everybody will engage and nod, everybody will tell me they do this, and then I do the secret callers, right? And it's in the write-up here. By the way, I said less than 5%, so that means actually closer to 0 of these people have ever distinguished my needs versus wants. The needs versus wants discussion is why people will arrive, pay, and stay. And man, we can't go into depth in this enough in healthcare and how we make we overassume some things, right? If people know their cost, they will arrive. And I'm like, sure. If people know what we offer, they will arrive. Sure. Maybe. Right? So both of those are sure. Maybe. Because we have this world in healthcare where on the consumer side, on the patient side, on the client side, they basically know they're not going to get their cost. They're not going to know how much it's going to cost, right? And so they make decisions based on that, yet they don't say this outright. Because why? Because it's expected. And when you deliver that, you're delivering what they expect. So in order to get people to arrive, pay, and stay, that's why we can't separate these. It's not about customer arrival, client arrival. It's about a customer arrival and paying and staying. And when I say paying, insurance, it doesn't matter what kind of insurance, cash, it doesn't matter, HSA card, doesn't matter, FSA card, doesn't matter, credit card, check, Blue Cross, United Healthcare, any of those things. It doesn't about getting paid. Dealing with 2 clinics right now that their copay collection rate over the front desk in network clinics is insanely low, and their lack of consistency with collecting that is impacting their business because they're so big, and impacting their business in a way that they have to make business financial decisions based on the fact they're not collecting copay. So again, it's arrive and pay and stay. Now, the beauty is, I say those are 3 things. We can manage those. We can bundle those up and manage those in a way that they're always understood along the patient's journey. Yet, of course, step 1 is understand where they are in their journey at the time. If you want to fix a copay collection problem, you fix it before they arrive. If you want to fix a billing problem, you fix it before they arrive. If you want to fix an arrival problem, you fix it before they arrive, by understanding, right, 2 things: their journey within your business, and that the goal is to get them to arrive and pay at the basic level. So have we checked the boxes after the first phone call for arrive and pay? Again, this is back to why will they arrive? That's all I'm doing. Why will they arrive? Well, I should be able to check these boxes related to arrive, pay, and stay. Why they will arrive, pay, and stay. Right? So all this stuff is just, there's no separating any of this. You can't separate cost and pay and everything from arrival. You can't separate needs versus needs and wants, right, from arrive, pay, and stay. So the goal of all this and the culmination of all this is to understand again, by the way, I came at this from a million different ways. So what I've done over time is I've realized where this all fits in the journey. So as I sit here and preach to you like I knew how to do this, right? Like I always had this figured out, I didn't. Right? I kept implementing things and going, wait a minute. And the biggest one of these was a billing problem we had. That was the one, I talk about the 5 tipping points in my career, in my business career, in my physio career, right? In my career getting here. And one of the tipping points was this billing problem I had. And it was occurring 1 to 2 months after discharge. And long story short, we spent time, money, and energy to 9 months fixing a billing problem, and nothing changed. Fortunately, at the time, I was working parallel, not thinking they were related, with all these things I'm telling you about. This was about 12 years ago. So my knowledge of this was very shallow. My experience with this was very short. So again, I didn't even know the billing problem and this stuff was connected. So we go 8-9 months and we have and I took a step back and said, wait a minute. Let me look at this from a different lens and the things I've learned over the last 8 to 9 months. And what I realized was we had a expectations issue. Well, you guys know expectations, you need to set and manage those furthest upstream. I actually called it an expectations communication issue. Same thing, communicating people's expectations. We weren't communicating the right information. So we were in the process of changing our first phone call. By the way, zero realization what it had to do with the billing problem. And so I just incorporated setting some expectations around billing and getting bills. That is it. That is it. We didn't change. We went back, right? Nothing in the billing department changed it. I went all the way upstream to the first phone call and just literally worked in a couple things about your cost, what to expect around your cost, what to expect from the insurance side. And then I made sure it was amplified and repeated in the financial policy when you arrived. Billing problem disappeared, right? So this whole understanding again of the connection here in expectations and bundling up arrive with pay and stay, right? So this is where this all came together. And again, I didn't know it at the time, but if I knew my patient life cycle, once I understood my patient life cycle, once I understand what the goals were in each phase of the patient life cycle, when I understood the power of expectations, right? When I understood the power of building trust, when I understood my business as an ecosystem, then it all came together. And that's how I got to what we're doing today, right? This needs versus wants thing. And this is very important, again, to arrive, pay, and stay. So I want to break this down for you, and I want to start here. Is needs versus wants is a value discussion. And there's no one watching this, and there's no one who will comment on this who won't state that they don't understand what value is, and I'd say cool. So in that sense, I always have a difficult time using the word value and using it in the proper way. So I want to make sure I'm using it in the proper manner and that you guys understand my context when I say value. Because this needs versus wants conversation is a huge value conversation. The pure textbook definition of value is value equals quality over cost. So, right? So that's where I'm coming from. Now, let's break down a couple of those terms because I hate the word quality because it's so subjective. If you just go with the fact that, yeah, we sell value. Yeah, we make they should value. Right, the second one's the most important. It's what they value, not you value. So see where we're going with this needs and wants. I need to figure out what people are going to use for the quality index in the value equation. If we hold cost constant, the more the quality side of the equation goes, then the greater the value is. If we hold quality constant and raise cost, then the value, the objective measure of value, whatever it is, goes down. Think about that for a second. It's really important. And it's simple math. And I hate math, right? And I say it's simple math because it took me so long to figure it out. So we cannot leave either to chance. And I would argue the largest component of that, the biggest impact, is quality. Because we could raise our price, but if we don't do anything about quality, value lessens in the eye of the one who needs something from you. So the biggest impact is the quality. So why would we leave that to chance? And why would we use such a broad term, right? Like quality provider, quality healthcare. Simple enough for everybody on here. Just define it. Define it. Don't leave it to chance. So when people say we're quality, I say what do you mean by that? And they give me like 3 or 4 bullet points. I go, cool, don't ever say quality again. Always say those 4 to 5 bullet points. when you talk about your business and what you can deliver. If you put out your quality, again, then people can decide if they value that. It's that simple. So we let those roam around. We work with those terms before we give price. I like the term value before price in our world. But if I give you price, think of the value equation. Value equals quality over price. If I give you the price and I don't know your definition of quality, then I'm flipping a coin. If I say it's $150 for physical therapy, and your experience or your expectation with physical therapy is a lower quality, however we measure that, than the value. If I get and set the definition and help you understand how we meet your quality standard and maybe kick it up 5 steps, then the price I give you delivers greater value. If it was any more difficult, I wouldn't be sitting here telling you this. This is going to move you today, tomorrow, that mindset into a better arrival rate. We get in here. We don't even have to go into needs and wants. Just started doing that, doing it on your website, and then continuing it on the first phone call, you win. So the goal here on the first phone call, and I've already alluded to this, is to build the value in their head. You need to get them to start to increase in their head, right? Because in their head, what they're doing, people calling you, 99.9% have no idea what the value equation is, and that's okay. It's not a judgment. You just don't. If you ask people, they wouldn't know. But what you're doing in their head is you're trying to, right, manipulate, and by manipulate, I mean change, discuss, right, mold the quality component. Because if we just say just increase value, I go, well, there's 2 parts of this equation and each impacts it. So we got to be careful, right, of how we say increase value. So I'm like, let's increase quality to drive value. And what that means is if you're on the phone on the other side, I like to say, if you're on the other side of this conversation and I can ask you better questions and extract better information from you, then I can make sure you understand what we can deliver to you, and you put that into the quality part. If I increase the quality part of this equation, I increase value. So that's the whole idea and lead in 15 minutes here of why we must consider needs versus wants. We need to build value and cause people to react. And by react, step 1 would be schedule, right? Yet the result we want from the action is an arrive, pay, and then stay. So needs versus wants. This is interesting. This is the drill and the whole conversation. And I want to take it one step further because I just read some really good stuff in a sales book I have. I just have to pause and smile with that. There's not a sales book I've read in the last year that hasn't helped me to understand how to engage in our healthcare world as a provider, as a clinician, as a front desk person, as an owner, as a manager. And I'm reading these sales books going, man, if I would have had some kind of knowledge of this when I was treating people, I could have done a better job. The sales world has been teaching empathy and listening and things like that for a long time. So here's the thought around this, the drill and hole analogy, right? Someone walks in and says, I need a drill, right? That's a commodity, right? And what they tell you is, I need a drill. And you're like, cool. 99.9% of the stores out there sell drills, right? So what's the cheapest one, right? I've done this many times at Lowe's and Home Depot. Go find the size I need, start scanning over, right? And you see, you're like, there's no fucking way. And then you scan back over it. It's a commodity. It's a drill. I'm like, right, these guys here in this middle row of prices, it's a 3/8. It's the size I need. I'll buy this one in the middle, right? Because if there's a real low end one, you're like, that's too cheap. And so that's what's happening when people are calling and asking for physical therapy. Hi, my name's Jerry. I have low back pain. I want to get scheduled for physical therapy. Hi, my name's Jerry. I've got a project I'm working on. I need a drill. If you're a front desk person, if you are the front desk person, and you allow the conversation to flow down the physical therapy route, then you're selling the commodity. Not only that, and I'll take it back one step further, you have no idea what they value. Zero. Zilch. Well, they have low back pain. They want to get better. I'm like, that's an assumption. Not only is that an assumption, but that can be delivered anywhere. So here we go again with the drill analogy. I have low back pain. Cool. What do they say when they call a chiropractor? I have low back pain. I need help. What do they say when they call the acupuncturist? I have low back pain. I need help. What do they do when they call the massage therapist? I have low back pain. I need help. What do they do when they call the personal trainer? I have low back pain. I need help. Right? So it's the same thing. It's the drill. It's what I need. I need help for my low back pain. The beauty is the hole in the wall, right? Hey, I need a drill. Great. What are you working on? What is it you're trying to achieve with the drill? Now we're getting to the wants. Right? Oh, Jerry, I'm so sorry to hear you. Can I learn a little more about what's going on with this and how this has happened? Well, yeah. Remember, nobody else is doing this. And again, it's getting to this drill hole. And then let me throw in one thing, and I'm going to go into the phone conversation. I saw one better here. It says you not only want to know, they said knowing that they need to drill a hole is not enough. What do you need the drill for? A hole. Cool. That's the want. The sales book, I love it, went one step further. They said, what are you going to use that hole for, right? They said what you want to get to, and this was the exact example, right? What you want to get to is find out they're going to use it to hang a shelf to put up pictures of their kids on. Now we went from I need a drill from I need a place to put up pictures that I can look at every day of my kids, things I value. And I'm like, oh, that's good, right? So it's even one step further than the whole, which is a great analogy, but we need to go one deeper. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to put in there, right? What are you going to do with it? What's going to be the result of all this work, right? And that's what I started to create with that question. Oh, Jerry, I'm so sorry to hear you have low back pain. The need. I need some help, right? Physical therapy. And then I say, can I learn more about you? What I've moved it to is learning about, okay, right? I need some help. Yeah, what do you need help? What's the end result? What do you want to achieve? This is the want. This is the want. This is why they will arrive. And this is where you get to incorporate your value and insert it into their story. You guys have heard this. And I gave this with those 5 questions that need to be answered. This is why you need to address these 5 questions. This is why you need to insert those questions and get them answered into the first phone call so you can determine their wants so that you can drive up the quality side of the math equation, the quality number. So as we move forward and give them their costs, whether it's a $20 copay or a $200 visit, they now can determine if they value what you have to deliver. So while they are sharing their story, while we get their desired outcomes, one of the 5 things, right? We start to tell them how we can help them. We don't tell them what the service is, right? You don't get all the way to getting the story about hanging pictures on the wall and go, great, let's go buy a drill. No, you keep it all there. Well, let me find the best tool for you. Let me find the best thing for you to put a shelf up that will hold pictures that are important to you so that shelf won't fall, so it can sustain the weight. Whatever it is, now the whole conversation flows around that end result. So we've gone from Jerry has low back pain to Jerry can't go to the gym and Jerry has 30 minutes of pain every morning when he gets out of bed in his low back. So the whole conversation now flows around the wants and not the needs. Again, no different. I need a drill. Once you learn what the drill's about, we talk about that end result. We talk about the best product. Now all of a sudden the gentleman walks me to, or woman, walks me to the drill section. Remember how I said there's this? And they go straight to the expensive one. And I go, yeah, give me that one. Why? Because it is the one that's going to get the job done to put my pictures up and sustain the weight so the shelf won't fall, so I can enjoy pictures and trade out pictures of my kids growing up. The same drill that when I walked up, I went, too expensive, right? Boom, because I had nothing to value on it. It's no different with this. If I get your wants and I find out you want to get back. Oh, cool. Thank you, Kelly. Good to see you here. Yeah, it's really important as you go back today, Kelly, thinking about that and just, and you don't, I'm giving you guys this deep dive on it. The difference is just asking people and acknowledging, I'm so sorry you have back pain. What is it? Don't say, what are your goals? I'm so sorry you have back pain. So Jerry, so I can find the best fit for you in the clinic. So I can make sure we're the right fit. Can I get a little more information and learn about what it is you want from us, right? What is your desired outcome? What does the end of this journey look like for you? If you come here and you get better, what things can you are you going to be able to do, or what kind of pain are you not going to have? That's it. Again, they told me what they want from me. And I said less than 5%, and it's closer to 0. I have people ask me my goals, but they don't take it to the next step to say, that's great, I have the right person for you, right? Hey, I need to hang a shelf. I need to put a hole in the wall, and I need to hang a shelf to do these 8 things. Great, Jerry, I have the perfect thing for you. And again, they walk me over and they give me the right tool to do it. They don't say, oh, you need a drill, right? And we always step it back to the one, oh, low back pain. Oh, we help a lot of people with low back pain. Oh, we sell a lot of drills. Cool, it's a commodity. Oh, we have dry needling. Oh, we have lasers. Cool, it's a commodity. You must build the quality component of the value equation so that people will arrive and pay. And by the way, once they arrive, they have a great experience with the front desk. They understand they've been scheduled with the right provider, and then they buy into the plan of care. The quality keeps going up, up, and up. Well, the price stays the same. The greater they value what they received, the more likely they are to share their story. See how this all comes together? Cool. We're a little over 25 minutes in, so I want to stop there. I think you guys get it. The value equation, the wants versus needs. What is that end result? The want is the end result. Get to that end result, right? Build the value, so build the quality side of it, cause the person to react. Yes, I will arrive. Yes, I understand my cost, and that's fine, right? Get them to react, right? This is the person, well, I'll schedule physical therapy. Well, okay, well, yeah, we'll see. Well, can you call me with the cost, and everything like that. Just manage and set the expectations around the value equation, not their diagnosis. Nobody should ever be scheduled with it shouldn't be the 10:30 low back pain patient. My 10:30 who wants to get back to CrossFit. My 11 o'clock who wants to get back to going up and down the stairs pain-free. My 1 o'clock who wants to be able to get back on the baseball diamond and throw without pain. All right. Thanks for coming, Kelly. Thanks for coming, Jared. Hope everybody sees some value in this. Feel free to reach out. Again, this is very actionable. I'm love to hear Kelly's response. Kelly's the doer. I love when the doers jump on here. Kelly's the one doing this every day. We'll go from there. All right, folks. Appreciate your time and your energy here, and get this implemented. Great. Oh, I appreciate that very much, Kelly. I appreciate you guys. I got to tell you, I shared this story again last week. Every time I sit down with a group of front desk team members, and you guys know that's a broad term, there's always so much insight in there, and I learn more about the business. Actually, I should say, let me say this. I learn more about the patient's life cycle within the business that these people are representing from the front desk team members than I do from the owners. And it is what it is. I was the same way. There is nobody in your business, in your practice, in your clinic that understands the patient's journey better than your front desk team members. They get it from the beginning. They see people coming and going. They get the calls afterwards. They understand it. You had to ask them better questions. You had to set them up for success. There's no one better equipped in your whole business than your front desk team members to help map out the patient life cycle and start building the systems into that than your front desk team members. because they're the ones driving first visit arrival. I mean, there's a million cliches for this, but you'd have 30 PTs. Nothing happens until the front desk picks up the phone. Front desk team members pick up the phone and say, hi, how can I help you? There's no business otherwise. There's a little extra run there, but this wants and needs. It's about the front desk. Interestingly enough, your provider gets it on a val day. That's too late. It's too late. Again, we got to move everything upstream, right? They got to know before they walk in. My goal, I tell this over and over. I tell this to all my new clients, my new clinics. I say my goal is every patient that walks in the door is bought in to their plan of care before they arrive. Think about that. Everybody else is like, oh, just get them in front of me. Just get them in front of me. I'm like, you're going to burn out. It's like having a business based on Russian roulette, man. Who wants to play that game? With a fucking loaded gun. Who wants to play Russian roulette with one bullet missing? I'm like, no, empty the chamber, man. Empty it all. And I'm serious on that. Flip a coin, man. All right? We got to have people set up for success before they arrive. I want them bought into the plan of care. Now, first visit arrival rate should be 98, 99%. First visit arrival rate. If your first visit arrival rate is anything less, right, that's the first sign. Then you go to your drop-offs. For using all this further upstream. If you're going to sell commodities, sell commodities. And by the way, physical therapy is a commodity. The laser is a commodity. Your treatment, by the way, your treatment processes are a commodity. Until you get their wants, you have no idea. And the only way to level out and get them off the commodity mindset is to base it on their definition of value, which goes back to what do they want from you. Cool. Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Amy, for coming. And I'll see you all again soon. Feel free to comment down below. As you guys know, I'm pretty active here. I love responding. I'm happy to share anything, the 10-point checklist. By the way, the 10-point checklist, which I gave out a couple weeks ago, is set up to get these things. People ask for that, and I give it away for free all the time. And I'm saying this out loud, yet the value of what it does for you is, once you get it, is an ROI like no other. Everything I've told you to get, the 5 things last week and plus more, is on that 10-point checklist. So if you just take that 10-point checklist and use it as your template, as your structure, as your guideline for the first phone call, you will be more successful in getting people to what? Remember, more successful. What's that mean, Jerry? Arrive, pay, and stay. That's the beauty of all this. If I couldn't measure this stuff, if I didn't see these results, I wouldn't be pitching this to you guys. It's all measurable. Take any business metric that has to do with arrival, cancel rates, drop-offs, first visit arrival, whatever. When I say arrive, I mean all of it. Actually, when I say arrive, let me step back. I mean first visit arrival. When I say pay, I mean they agree and understand that every visit and even the bill at the end, they must pay on time. When I say stay, I mean complete a plan of care. So that's less drop-offs, less cancels. So when I use the word arrival, I'm talking about first visit arrival. Stay is the next kicker. All those are business simple. All those are reflected in your business metrics. All those, arrive, pay, and stay, coincidentally coincide with your revenue. All 3 of those metrics drive revenue. I can't control your profit because I don't know what the fuck you're spending your money on. But if you want to drive more revenue and hold your expenses stable, just like the value equation, then all this information will drive your revenue, which will flow straight to your bottom line. Right? We got front desk people on here. If they go back and start doing this, it goes straight to the bottom line. There's no incurred costs. This is free content. If you want that 10-point checklist, just type in 10-point checklist below and I'll send it to you. And there's going to be far more context for using that, which means you can be far more successful with it. All right? All right. This is awesome. Really appreciate you guys coming in and chiming in. And like I said, I love seeing the doers here. And it's nothing against the other people, but let's cut through the middleman. Get to the people who are doing this every day and will be successful in this if we make sure they know how to do it. Cheers all.